Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about the first 10 things that I sold on my eBay account. I've only been reselling on eBay since January, so these are the first 10 items that sold for me. Most of the items that I've listed on my eBay account have come from my house. Some of these that have sold did come from Goodwill, but most of them came from items that I already just had at home laying around. First item that sold for me was Paper Mario for Nintendo 64. It was just a game card only, but it sold for $35 plus the buyer paying shipping. The second item that sold on my eBay account was a men's Under Armour long sleeve green heat gear compression shirt. I got this from Goodwill and paid a couple bucks for it, and it sold for $15 plus shipping to the buyer. Third item that sold was Pokken Tournament for the Nintendo Switch. It's another Pokemon game. It's kind of off the traditional setting for that. It was a fighting game. It sold for $35 plus I covered shipping on that one. I was running an experiment on what it would be if I covered shipping, since most of these items I didn't just buy just to then reflip. Later I just decided that the buyer was just going to pay shipping. The fourth item that sold was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky for the Nintendo DS. That item I had just laying around. I never even played the game. I bought it back in 2016 for $25 and it sold for $90. This game was complete in box, so it still had the game, the manual, the case, and everything was in good condition. The fifth item that sold was Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super Nintendo. This game was complete in box. That means it has the game, the manual, everything was in good condition still, and it sold for $40 plus I covered shipping on that one. A lot of my early listings I ended up covering shipping because I thought that's what you were supposed to do, but I've now switched my business model into where the customer pays shipping. Most of the time it's probably going to be around $5. Other times, just depending on the item, it'll be calculated shipping. Number 6 I was really excited about. I found this at Goodwill for $4 and was very surprised when I looked up the comps of how high it was selling for on eBay. This is QuickBooks Pro 2011 full retail edition. That means it had the disc, it had the box, everything that you needed, and for somebody to actually use this right out of the box. The box was in a little bit rough shape, but it sold for $85 on eBay, and I covered shipping. I did take a best offer of this, but I was very excited since it was a $4 buy just laying on the floor on Goodwill, and it sold for $85. The seventh item that sold for me is Banjo-Tooie for Nintendo 64. It was a cartridge only, and it sold for $30. I loved playing this game when it first came out, but at the end of the day, it's just sitting in my house as I'm not playing it, so I figured I'd just go ahead and sell it. The eighth item that sold for me was Mario Party 3 for the Nintendo 64. It was a cartridge only, and it sold for $35. One thing that I did do on my listings after I did a lot of research was in my title, as long as the game worked, I put that it was authentic, tested, and worked, which most of these are, because when I bought these video games a couple years ago, I bought them from a local video game store. The ninth item, or items that sold for me, was a Nintendo 64 bundle of video games. It was Rampage 1, Rampage 2, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the first one, and Toy Story 2. I tried to sell these off individually, but at the end of the day, I figured just making a little bundle would help, and it sold for $60. So if you have a lot of older games or items just in general that are in the same category, so if you've got a bunch of Nintendo 64 cartridges that by themselves would not bring enough or a good amount of money in, just bundle them together and put a price tag on it, and you should be off making a little bit more profit. So that's what I did for these. They all tested, they all worked, and I think that was a great way to kind of reduce inventory and make some more profit. The 10th item that sold for me was the Funko Pop Super Saiyan Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. What's very, very unique about this one, well, I say it was unique, it helped me get more profit out of it, but it was a 2016 New York Comic Con edition. So it was a special edition item from a couple years ago. It sold for $50. I think at the time I only paid a couple bucks for it, but now saving it, it actually brought in a pretty good bit of profit. So these items were the first 10 items that sold for me on eBay. They ranged on staying on the store just for a couple of days. I think it averaged about 9 days. Some items sold quicker than others. The Paper Mario sold the same day, where some items sold in 2, 6, or some even hung out for 9 days. But these items, for only investing a little bit of money, technically right now I've only invested I think $10 between them, because I bought the Under Armour shirt and the QuickBooks at Goodwill. Everything else was just laying around my house, and it just very easily netted me some quick cash. I appreciate you stopping by and checking this video out. If you did enjoy this video, please think about subscribing to my channel. I'll be putting out videos probably like once a week. And any positive, negative feedback, I'm open to it as I grow this channel. I just want to be able to put out content that you're wanting to watch. Please just comment on below. I'd love to talk to you, and I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks.